What's going on, guys? Balkan Architect here, and in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to create an animated landscape 3D diagram. So if you have been following my channel closely, a few months ago I have released this video where I show you how to create this cool 3D landscape diagram, and I've done all of that inside of Revit, and it has been very popular. A lot of you have really liked this video and have been asking me for more things like this. So I decided that in this video I'm going to be taking that one step further, and we're actually going to be creating this animation. So it's going to be the same diagram, or kind of the same approach to a landscape diagram, but instead of using just Revit, I'm going to be showing you how to enhance it even further by using Twinmotion. We're going to be adding some Twinmotion elements like trees, cars, and actually animated cars, animated people, an animated boat even. I'm going to be showing you how to add some birds, some fishes in the water, realistic grass, realistic planting, and many more things which are available within Twinmotion just to make it look much more realistic. And then to, well, as I said, to take it one step even further, we're going to be creating, instead of an image, we're going to be creating a video. So it's going to be an animation, just kind of bringing more life into this diagram. This, I think it's going to be really fun. I think the end result looks really good, so I'm quite excited about this. And full disclosure, this video is sponsored by Twinmotion. I've actually been working with Twinmotion on a couple of videos previously, and if you want to learn more about Twinmotion, I suggest you check out this video. I'm going to leave it both in the description below the video and also up in the cards above. It's an overview of Twinmotion, so if you want to learn more about this real-time rendering software and all of its capabilities and what it has to offer, I suggest you start with that video first. And then also for this video we're going to be starting straight out of Twinmotion. We're not going to be doing anything in Revit. We've just created the model in Revit, and that's available in that original video, which is also going to be linked just below the video in the description and also up in the cards. And we're just going to be taking that model, taking it into Twinmotion, and for that we're just going to be using a live link. And if you don't know what a live link is and how to set it up, or how to set up a live link between Twinmotion and Revit, I have a video on that topic as well, and that's also going to be linked up in the description below this video and then also up in the cards. So if you want to check that out, be sure to take a look at that video. I think it's a really powerful way to link both Revit and Twinmotion. So that's what this video is all about. That's kind of the history if you want to get started kind of from the beginning. But now in this video we're just going to be using Twinmotion to take something that looks fairly kind of okay, not much, and turning it into something really truly amazing. Okay, so without any further ado, let's jump into Twinmotion, and here we are. As you can see, the Revit model is already loaded in. So the first thing that we're going to be doing is an issue that I have seen when I load in my Revit models that are below level 0. It looks like this. So as you can see here, level 0 is kind of at the ground, and then we have a part that's kind of below ground. We cannot really see the kind of the thickness of this water. So I'm actually just going to be taking or selecting this kind of surrounding the bottom, and I can just click on that, select it, and then I can just hit delete, and then we're kind of like this floating in mid-air. So you can actually do that, and I actually prefer this look. I prefer it to having that kind of ground below. I think it looks better, at least for diagrams such as this one. Obviously, if you're just doing anything else like enhancing a regular model, it might make sense to keep that bottom. Also, here we have that city in the background. Usually this looks really good, but in this case, just because this model is going to be quite a simple diagram, I'm just going to be getting rid of that, and you can do that also just by going here to the location, expanding that menu. Here we have the background function, and then I'm just going to go to the picture. It says here city, and I can just go to none, and then it looks like this. So I don't think we need any background for this particular model. Okay, so the next natural step is to enhance the materials. So here the materials have been done in Revit, and as you can see, they look quite terrible, especially the water. Water is black for some reason. So let's then fix this up. So for the materials, what you want to do is go here into this side and expand this menu. And here the first option in the library is the materials. So let's open that up and let's actually do the water first. It's quite annoying. So what I'm going to do is just search here. Let's see the materials, fabrics, water. Here we go. And because this is the C, I'm going to be using this C2 and just kind of dragging that over here. And also I like to go here to color and just make it a bit lighter. So if I just drag this over, yeah, just like that. I think it looks nicer when it's a bit lighter. Okay, so we have that. Here the depth has been set to 2 meters, which works perfectly in this with this model, so I'm happy with that. Okay, let's go forward. Let's now do we have the sand and the grass, and here we have this walkway, and here we have some asphalt. So let's do that. So I'm just going to go back here a step. Let's see. So here we have some glass. We don't want that. We have ground. Okay, that's going to work. We have natural and man-made. So let's start with the natural, and let's see for the grass. I'm just going to use this grass 1 and then just drag it over to here. Also, something that I suggest is increasing the scale quite a bit. I like to go all the way up to 10. And as I mentioned this in one of the previous videos, if 10 is not enough, the slider doesn't really go up, but you can click here on the, you can click here on the number and then you can type in something like 15 and then it can increase to 15. But just keep in mind that the slider will only go up to 10. Okay, so we have the grass. Looks nice enough. You can go here to color if you want to change the color a bit, but I'm just going to be adding some realistic grass over this later on, so I don't think I need to adjust this too much. Okay, so let's scroll down then to sand. Okay, I really like this wavy sand, so let's place it here on the beach. Let's increase the scale. Yeah, it looks much better. I'm actually going to increase it all the way up to 15. I think it would look a bit better. There we go. Okay, so we have that. Then let's go back to man-made. And then here for the man-made, I'm going to add some asphalt. And let's go with this one, number 4. Place it there. Perfect. Increase the scale as well, all the way up to 10. So for most materials, you're going to have to increase the scale up to 10 probably, perhaps in some cases even more. So just something to keep in mind. That's just how Twinmotion interacts with Revit geometry. Let's go back. Let's go to man-made again, and then let's see. Here we have some cobblestone. Okay, I really like this one. Okay, let's use this one, the round cobblestone. And I'm just going to place it here, zoom in a bit. And then let's increase the scale. There we go, perfect. Let's go back, and here for these walls and this walkway, I want to use something different. So I'm just going to go here to wall coverings. Here we have just this white plaster, and I'm just going to go with that. Place it here for the wall, for the stairs, for the walkway, and that should work for all of these. Yeah. There we go. So we have some of those basic materials already set up. Now we have to take it one step further, and now let's start adding some really realistic, cool materials or elements. So let's go back here to our library and let's go to vegetation and landscape. So the first thing that I want to do is play around with some grass. So we have this grass and flowers. I'm just going to go with the long grass number 1. So select that one. And yeah, so to place the grass, you can just try to kind of place it like this, but it's only going to place like a small segment of grass. So what I suggest you do when it comes to grass is go here and you have the option to vegetation and paint or vegetation paint. So you just click on the vegetation paint, you find here grass and flowers. Let's place this grass. So you find the grass and then you can place it by using a brush. See, this is like a big brush. I'm just going to decrease the diameter to something quite smaller. Maybe something like that will work, at least in the beginning. And then you just start placing grass here. And as you can see, the grass will appear. You can increase the density as well. So let's see. There we go. So we can increase the density. I like to go like to 50, 60%. It just looks really good. and then we go back here to the brush, and then we can place that grass. Here I don't mind if it goes a little bit over to that sand. Looks good enough. Here it might go a little bit outside, and we can just fix that up later on. So we can just go like this, kind of follow that surface. There we go. See how it looks really nice? And it looks much more realistic, especially later on when you turn this into a video. You're going to see that this is just going to look so much better. So you can just place grass like this. Don't have to be too precise because you can fix it up later. And when I say fix it up, I mean you can just go here and switch from your brush into your vegetation eraser, and then you can just erase. See how it's just removing some of that grass? So if you're not happy with where the grass has been placed, you can just come in and just get rid of that. If you don't like it to, I don't know, like come here on the little walkway, cobblestone, you can just kind of come and erase those kind of grass parts or parts of this whole grass. Same thing goes here. Perhaps this is a bit too much. So there we go, that's how you place grass. Now I'm just going to skip the step where I place the grass on this surface as well, because it's kind of repetitive, so I don't think it's that necessary to go over that as well. Okay, so we have the grass now placed. Now I suggest you just go here to select the grass, and then we have the settings option. And when you go to the settings, you have the option to adjust both the size of the grass, so you can have it kind of a taller grass, but also you have the ability to adjust the tint. So I like to play around here with the tint, make it look just a little bit warmer. I just prefer the look of that kind of just a bit warmer grass instead of having it so kind of green and bluish. I just think it looks a bit better. So we can do that just to make it look a bit nicer. Okay, so moving forward, let's try playing around with trees a little bit. So I'm just going to be placing a couple of trees here. So let's see what do we have here for the trees. Okay, so I really like this one. So I'm just going to drag it over and let's place it. Now, once you place it, you can just move it around. You can adjust the age of the tree, so you can make it a bit taller. Older means taller, obviously. Here you get the height as well. You have the grow on, or off, depending on what you're trying to create. So let's turn it on. We have the leaves tint, so you can tint those. We have the bark tint and so on. I'm just going to leave it as is. I'm happy with this tree here. Let's place a few more. So here we can have a smaller one. Here we can have like an even smaller one, perhaps like that. And then let's place one more. I don't know, like this here, also a bit smaller. Something like that. Okay, let's see, what else can we do? Let's add another one. So I just want to add an Indian sandalwood tree. So let's place a few of these here. So perhaps here. Okay, this is a bit tall. Perhaps like that. And then let's place one more here. Make it a bit smaller too. Just like that. There we go. Now, this looks nice already, but I think we can add a bit more. So what I like to do is go back here. Let's get rid of all of this. Let's go back, and here we have the option to add some bushes. So this can look nice as well. So we can have like this bush here, perhaps have it close to the tree, decrease the size a bit. We can have this one here, perhaps increase the size of this one. So you can just play around with all of these elements, and just more you add, everything can look just nicer and more realistic, because in real life usually you don't have like a kind of ideal kind of picture perfect site. Usually you do have some trees and some natural growth, some bushes, things like that. So see how it looks really good, especially when we zoom in compared to that grass. I think it looks really, really nice. So we can just keep adding more of those. We can perhaps have one of these here. Have one of these here, and so on. So just kind of play around, make it look nicer. You're just kind of building your site, just playing. This is really kind of turning into a game at this point, but that's exactly the point. It's supposed to be fun, and then when it's fun, it does look nice. Okay, so we have added all of that. Now also we can add some additional elements. We can add some rocks, for example. And what I like to do here is just let's place this rock like that here, and I'm just going to add it like this, really close kind of to the water. See, so it's kind of a little bit in the water, so you can even play around with that. Let's see. Does it have to be a little bit lower? There we go. So see, it's kind of submerged a little bit, and you can just place rocks like that. Here we can have one like this, and one here perhaps. Yeah, that looks really, really good. There we go. So just adding all of those elements makes everything look so much more realistic. We can have like a small one here. There we go. Okay, let's go backwards now. Let's see, what else can we add here? Let's go back again, and now I'm just going to search for some, let's search for a bench. Okay, here we go. Bench, and then we can add a nice little bench here for people to sit when they're walking by the beach. So let's add this one. You can rotate it like this. Let's just give that beautiful view. There we go. So we can have like a bench there. We can see, let's see, what else do we have here? We have this one. This one's a bit smaller. Perhaps it would fit in here. Yeah, perfect. So you can just add a couple of benches there just to make it nicer for the people that are there. And speaking of people, let's now add some people. So for the people, if I just go back here, you do have the option to find characters, and then you can have these animated figures and you can add those, and that's all nice. But I think the best way to make this look really kind of alive is to add some paths. So for the paths, they're located over here, in the context, and then here we have the paths, and then we have the character path. So you just select the character path, and you have this little button to kind of create that path. And I like to create them a bit longer, because then that gives you more characters and everything just looks nicer. So you kind of start off here in the distance, and then I come to my model, and then as you can see, I'm just creating a little path. You can go up to here, to there, and then also we can finish it off a bit in the distance as well. Hit the escape key a couple of times. Let's see. Now it's just, there we go. It's producing the people, and there we go. We have our path. Looks really nice. So we have just people walking around. I think it looks really, really good. See? Now for this path or for these people, you can actually increase the density. So you can come in here, you can have more people if you want, you can have less people. I don't want to use too much for this beach scene. And then also here you can set up the clothing. So here it's set to street, but this is a beach, so let's go with beach. Obviously they are going to be, well, more suited for that beach. Now you can see that it looks a bit unrealistic having people kind of walk off midair like this, and this is something that we're going to be fixing later on. But first I like to add all of my paths. This is the first one for the people, but let's add one for the cars, and then I'm going to add one for the boat, which I think will look really, really cool. So let's go back here to paths. Here we have the vehicle path, and then we can just draw that here. Here we have kind of for the vehicles. Again, I'm just going to start a little bit in the distance. Oops. Let's try that again. So paths, vehicle path. There we go. Go then to here. Just try to keep it as centered as possible on this road, and then we can stop a little bit here further in the distance. Hit the escape key, and now we have to wait for a few seconds for Twinmotion to do its calculations, and my computer is a bit slow. Should probably get something a bit more powerful for Twinmotion, but there you go. As you can see, now we have some animated cars here. Now we do have an issue of them kind of going down, so I can just select this point here and bring it up, and then they won't go down anymore. I can bring this one up as well. So now they should look a bit more natural. See? They do. And also for this path, we can increase the density, which is nice, but also we can turn on 2 lanes. So 2 lanes basically means that we have cars coming in both directions, which I think is really cool. Also here we have the option to set up the speed if you want to change the speed of these. I'm quite happy with the way this looks like right now, so I'm just going to leave it as is. And then let's add a boat. So for the boat, if I go here to paths, and if I click on the path, we have the option to create a character path, vehicle path, bicycle path, and then also a custom path. Now, a custom path will allow you to place any possible object that you might want, and in this case, I want a boat. So first, let's create that path. So let's go here to custom path. Let's start again here a bit in the distance. Oops, it kind of defaulted back to the cars. So let's try that again, custom path. There we go. Perhaps go like this. And then we can stop somewhere over here. Okay, so for this path, as you can see, it's just added this white box. And if I select the path, here you have that box. Now, we can obviously change that box into something else, and we're going to be doing that. But first, let's bring this up a little bit. And this should be perhaps a bit down. Yeah, I think that now looks better. And then to replace the box, first we have to find a boat. So let's go back here. Let's search for vehicles, boats, and because this is a small scene, let's add a smaller boat. So I'm just going to be using this inflatable boat. But the problem with this boat, and you're going to notice what the problem is well the fact that it doesn't really have a captain. It's just an empty boat. And to have an empty boat like a ghost ship doesn't look really good, or it would just look a bit odd. So what I'm going to do is go back here and let's select the boat, and let's open up this menu on this side on the right. So here we can see we have that inflatable boat. So let's add a captain. So you add a captain or just a passenger by going here back to characters. Let's see, animated characters, and then let's see somebody for the beach. Okay, so here we have the beach characters, so let's use this one, and I'm just going to drag it over here, so just drag her over there. Okay, I have to bring it down a little bit, place her like that. Just make sure everything fits in perfectly. Okay, I think this should go up a little bit. There we go, and then rotate around. Just like so, and there we go. So now our little boat has its captain. And now here what you have to do is just find that character and just kind of place it on the boat, and it's going to go just like this, just below the boat. It's going to appear like that, like it's a nested family, so to speak, if I compare it to Revit terminology. So what do we do now is basically just right click on that, and then you have the option to save this. So you can just go and save this to your library. So you can just select this boat, let's right click, add to user library, just like that. And then when we go here back to our library, at the bottom we have user library, and now these two elements are combined. So the character, as you can see, the character and the boat are combined into one element. So now I can just escape out of that. I can delete this here. I can select the path again. There we go. And I can just drag that over here, and instead of that box, we have that character, and now she's basically driving the boat around, and I think it looks really, really cool. Also, you can enhance all of this a bit further, perhaps add some lights, which is something I'm going to do. And then also we can add some markings here on the road. So for the markings, first let's go and let's search for decals. Okay, here we go, and here, as you can see here, we have the decals, and for the decals, then we have some lines. Okay, dash marking, or we can use even double marking, depending on what your road type is. So we can just place these here on the road. Just connect them like this. It doesn't have to be perfect because it probably wouldn't be perfect in real life. So that's exactly why I'm adding it like this, kind of freehand, because then it tends to look a bit more realistic. So let's add that. There we go. Perfect. And then also you can even add these kind of dead leaves, or you can add things like, I really like these asphalt patches. So if you're from a place where asphalt isn't really perfect and there's a lot of patches, this is really good to add. And then also you can place it like this, you can scale it up if you want it to be bigger, you can change the opacity if you want, and so on. So I think it's just something that just kind of improves the realism. Just adding more details makes everything look better. And then, as I said, I want to add some lights. So here we have the lights like this, but I just want to add some simple street lights. These are kind of the actual lighting. So what you want is street lights. There we go. And then this is what you have for the options. So you can just come in here and place these however you would like that. So for example, I can just take this and then place it just like that, and I'm just going to repeat that, placing them on this wall, for example, just to kind of add a bit more detail. As you can see, here we have added just those lights. Also, I have added an additional path and just a couple of more rocks and flowers, and everything looks really realistic right now. I really like the look of it. Now, as I mentioned when I was placing the first paths, I don't like the fact that they are kind of going out in empty space like this, and now it's time to tackle that issue, and we're going to be doing that by going here to our library, and then here we have some tools, and one of the tools is the sections. So you go here to the sections, and then you place a section cube just like this, and a section cube, well, this is what the section cube looks like. And then for your section cubes, you can adjust them, and then basically they're going to make all of these people invisible. See? When I place it here, the people are invisible. First, we have to kind of scale it properly. So you select the section box, you go here, and instead of move, you go with scale. And then you can use these little black boxes. And as soon as you start cutting into the model, you stop. Let's extend it here. Yeah, just like that. Extend it in the other side. Here, the boat seems to be kind of escaping it on the bottom. So let's see, how can we expand that on the bottom? There we go. And then also here for the color is just the color that's going to be used for this cut. See how for example, take a look at the boat here. When it goes into the section box, it becomes kind of a little bit black when it's cutting it. And also it seems we can extend this a bit further. There we go. Okay, so we have one section box here. Let's then go back into move. Now I'm just going to hold the shift key, go here and move it in this direction, which is basically just going to copy that. See, now it's a copy. Let's click here, copy, okay, and then let's bring it back in. And as soon as it's kind of starts cutting into the model, you want to stop there. So is it cutting into the model here? Nope, looks good like this. Okay, perfect. And you just want to kind of double check if everything looks correct, and everything seems to look really good. And there we go. Now we have the section boxes in place. Now it's time to create our video. So let's collapse these two menus because they're not really that necessary. Now I like to adjust the camera next. So for the camera, let's see here, where's the camera? There we go, camera settings. Now I'm just going to move this, let's see, something like this. Just increase the FOV. I don't know, I like 40 or something like that. It just looks a lot better, at least in my opinion. It's a bit harder, oops, it's a bit harder to navigate. There we go. So this is something that I want. Let's see the angle. Yeah, so an angle like this, I think, would look really good. Now, obviously, on video, everything is going to look much better, just because the quality is going to be much higher. My graphics card is a little bit weak, so that's why it doesn't look that well. But once we create that video, it's going to be really good. I'm going to add just a bit of a vignette. I like that, and yeah. That's pretty much it. We can do some visual effects. I'm not going to for this one. I'm quite happy with the way it looks right now. So let's go here and let's create a video. So you just go here to video, you go to create a video, and it's going to look like this. So I'm just going to zoom in for this video a little bit. Perhaps like that. There we go. I really like the way this looks. And also here, now you can create multiple slides. In this case, I just want one, but you can define how long it lasts. So here, I'm just going to make it 30 seconds long for this particular video. And then you can just hit play. And then here, as you can see, it's kind of playing that video and shows you just what that looks like. So I'm quite happy with this. I'm quite happy with the way it looks. So let's see. Yeah, I'm quite happy with this. So let's now export. So you just go here to export, you go to video. So currently it says empty, but you select this video and now that's selected, and then you can just start your export. You have to define where you want to save that. I'm just going to save it on my desktop and that's it. Select the folder and now it's exporting. And we're done, and this is the end result. I'm quite happy with the way that this turned out, and please tell me in the comment section below this video, what do you think about this? Do you like the effect? Is it more powerful than the original from Revit? And also, if you want to get Twinmotion today, you actually can, and I'm just going to be leaving the link again below this video to get Twinmotion and also up in the cards. So make sure to check it out. It's really powerful and it can really make something unique from your Revit models. Thank you for watching, guys. Make sure to check out my website, balkanarchitect.com, for more Revit courses. There I have over 120 hours of content, and I'm adding more each week. Make sure to subscribe for more videos, and also I've added a video over there that might interest you as well.